a factored to standard form of a quadratic function. So here, when a quadratic function is written in the standard form as f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, the algebraic expression representing this function rule is a polynomial. Okay. Now in the previous task, we have seen what is a factored form of a quadratic function, right? It is of the form of f of x is equal to a times x minus r1 times x minus r2, right? This is what we have seen earlier. Now this factored form on multiplication, this is the first factor is one binomial and this is the other binomial. Because of the presence of two terms, we call it as a binomial, and on multiplication of those two, we get f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Now that function which is in the standard form is a polynomial. We can call it as a polynomial. Now what is a polynomial? It is an expression that involves constants, variables, and non-negative integer exponents. Now the constants are just numbers like 5. 5 is a constant, negative 4 or 12 or 15, or even if it is a fraction, 2/3. These are all constants. Now variables are like x, y, z, okay, x, y, z, etc. Those are the variables, and we have exponents are like x square. This 2 is the exponent of x. 2x square y cube. So this whole expression, this 2x square y cube, is a polynomial. Now in this polynomial, 2 is a numerical factor. We have a variable x and other variable y, and their exponents are 2 and 3. Here the exponent of x is 2 and that is 3, and they are not negative, and that's why you call it as a polynomial. And those exponents are also called as what? Degrees. The degree of x here is 2 and the degree of y is 3, right? In the next paragraph we are going to look at those degrees also. Now just I'm giving you an example of a polynomial, and these polynomials are consisting of constants, variables, and exponents. Now let me combine those, like 5 times x, 5x is a polynomial. Even if you write 7y cube, that is also a polynomial, and it is obtained by multiplying a constant with a variable, right? The product of a constant and a variable that gave you a term. Now a polynomial need not have just one term. It can have like 3x square minus 5x plus 14. It is a polynomial. And how many terms are there in this polynomial? We have 1, 2, 3. There are 3 terms in this polynomial. The first one is 3x square, second one is 5x, and the third one is 14. And they are connected by what? Positive or negative sign, that is adding or subtracting of the terms will give us a polynomial. Now there are different types of polynomials. The names of the polynomials are obtained by counting the number of terms or by knowing its degree. There are 2 ways of calling a polynomial. Here in this case, like 2x is a single term it has, so you call it as a monomial, single term. And if it has 2 terms, like 2x squared plus 5, it is a binomial. When you have 3 terms at the bottom here, 3x squared plus 5x minus 7, so it is called as a trinomial. And in this trinomial, the degree is 2. So that's why we call it as a quadratic trinomial. So we have to know all these different terms, right? All right. Now, coefficient is what we already discussed. Coefficient here, I said 2 is the coefficient of x square y cube. Here 3 is the coefficient of x square. Okay. Now, quadratic trinomial also we have seen. So I have a few examples here. How many terms are there in this first polynomial? You have 1, 2, 3. So because of 3 terms, we call it as trinomial, right? The first one is a trinomial, and here this 8 is just a constant term. Even though it's a constant term, but still it's a single term. We call it. So here I have a table with number of terms and the name by number of terms. Okay, so depending on the number of terms, we have to say if it has one term, give an example with one term and name it as a monomial. If you have an example, your own example, write whatever you want to write, like 5x squared plus 4x, and name that it is a binomial. Then give one example of a trinomial and also the polynomial, last one. So please try to fill in this side by yourself. And then I have degree and name by their degrees. So like I said just now, if the degree is 1, it is linear. And of course, if the degree is 0, it is a constant term. Alright. So we have here, if it is, alright, degree 1, it's a linear. Degree 2, quadratic. The degree 3 gives you cubic. And degree 4 is quartic. Degree 5 is quintic. So come up with your own examples. Write them down here. And what it represents, what is its name. For example, if you write, let us say 3x square minus 5x plus 2. What is the degree of this trinomial? It is a 2 here, and that's 1. So 2 is the degree. Then I'll call it as a quadratic, right? So you try to fill it out. Now, in the next part, we are looking at combining polynomials. How do you simplify these polynomials? Okay, so I have here perform the indicated operations for these polynomials. Leave your answer as polynomials in the simplest form. Okay, I have 4x squared plus 5x minus 2x squared minus 10x minus 12. Alright. So in order to simplify this, in the first step, we write the like terms together. What are the like terms? Like terms are those terms whose degrees are same, and also the variables we have to look for. 2x square is not same as 2y square. Correct? You cannot add those two. Of course, degrees are same. Alright, 4x square I have here minus 2x square plus 5x, degree for 5x is just 5x, minus 10x. They both have degree 1 and degree 1, and negative 12. So we considered everything. 4x square, 2x square plus 5x minus 10x minus 12. Now we have here 4x square. From 4x squares, how many x squares are taken away? That's 2. So 4 minus 2 gives you how much? 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2x square. We had 4x squares, take off 2x square. Now in this, next we have 5x's. See, these two grouped together, the like terms. From 5x, take away 10x. You have only 5x's, but you are taking away 10. 5 minus 10 is 5, but bigger number has a negative sign. So I'll write minus 5x. Right? Subtract smaller from the bigger and put the negative sign. That's what we know already. Now minus 12. Can you simplify this polynomial further? Let us see. 2x squared, the degree 2 and 5x. No, they are different. Hence we cannot simplify further. So that's all. This is the simplified form. Now the next problem we have. So before going to the next problem, just let us see what we did. Just group the like terms and simplify. That's all. And in the second problem, we have 8x squared minus 7x plus 12 plus 5x squared minus 6x plus 4. So we have to simplify, that is combine these two polynomials. So it is simple. We just have to put the like terms together again. And because it is the addition, we don't have to change anything, like just bring down 8x squared minus 7x plus 12. Then plus is that we are adding those two polynomials. So just drop the parenthesis and copy that 5x squared minus 6x plus 4. So we are not changing anything, just remove the parenthesis. Now in the next step, like we did before, copy the like terms together or group the like terms. Rather, 8x squared, right? We have 8x squared plus 5x squared those two are the like terms. I'm done with these two. Then I'll write down negative 7x and negative or minus 6x plus 12. These two are done. Last constant terms. 12 is a constant and 4 is constant. So 12 plus 4. Now what next? Just simplify. Combine the like terms together. Wherever you can add or subtract, whatever it is. Here it is plus. So 8x squared plus 5x squared gives you 13x squared. Minus 7x minus 6x. Right? Both are negatives. So I'll add them together. That gives you 13x is there. So from 7x's, already you have negative 7x, and from the taking away 6x. So 7 plus 6 gives you 13 with a minus sign. Of course, x is there with it. And last one, 12 and 4. 12 plus 4 gives you 16. That's all. That is your result. So what is the first step? You take off the parentheses, drop off the parentheses, then group the like terms, then simplify. Right? This is where you grouped them. Group the like terms and then simplify. Right? Now the third problem, you are looking at subtraction. How do you subtract two polynomials? Subtraction is like regular numerical subtraction, and how we subtract our regular numbers. In the same way we have to do. Let me show you. 5x cubed minus 8x squared plus 3x minus 5. Okay, I just copied the first polynomial as it is. I did not change anything, just to bring it down. Now, while copying the second polynomial, it is minus is there. That's why minus 2x cube and plus, and there it is a plus 3x square, but you're subtracting it. So I'll write minus 3x square, and even plus 5x changes to minus 5x because of the subtraction, because of this sign. Now what is the last term? I have minus 4. So it is like negative of negative. Negative of negative 4. That will give you what? Positive 4. So in other words, we just have to change the sign. See this 2x square, 2x to the third or 2x cube. By default here we have a positive sign. It is a positive 2x cube. That's why it became minus. Plus 3x square became minus 3x square. Plus 5x, change it to minus 5x. Minus 4, change it to plus 4. Just we have to write its opposites. Opposite sign. We write the opposite signs of all the second terms. Okay. Then group the like terms together. Next step. Let us group them. 5x cube minus 2x cube, right? This 5 and minus 2x cube. Minus 8x square minus 3x square. Then plus 3x minus 5x. Minus 5, the number constant value, minus 5 and plus 4. Look, I have 5x cube and 2x cube here. 5x cube minus 2x cube. Then 8x square and negative minus 3x square. Those two are covered. Now 3x plus 3x minus 5x. You got them here. Minus 5 plus 4. Right. We got everything taken into consideration. Now simplify. After grouping, simplify. How do you do that? 5x cube minus 2x cube gives you 5 minus 2, 3x cube. This is done. Minus 8x square minus 3x square, like negative 8 and minus 3 together gives you 8 and 3 is 11 with a minus sign and x square. So minus 11x square. Plus 3x minus 5x, from 3 I'll take away 5. So 3x minus 5x is what? 2x. Minus 5 plus 4 gives you minus 1. Right? Minus 5. One is a negative and other is positive. Remove the smaller from the bigger and keep the sign of the bigger number. So that's all. This is the simplified form of that given two polynomials. You subtracted the second polynomial from the first, and that is your result. Okay. Now you please try the problems that are given to you. Okay. Thank you.